We're live. All right, everybody. Welcome to our daily-ish work stream, where we are trying to build a better UI for ChatGPT. Um, our current state is that I think the thing kind of works for an alpha. The key functionality that we wanted to build, which is that the UI should be able to improve its own capabilities via um, ChatGPT itself. So basically, a user is able to ask for new features with a natural language interface and get them back and sort of be able to see them and decide if they like them. Works with asterisks, which is that you uh, don't necessarily have to be a great developer, but I think it currently requires some level of familiarity with code. Um, and we, are moving towards removing some of those barriers. Um, yeah. So,
Yeah.
Ryan, do you want to share a tab maybe that
Yep.
I can put up so
Yep. Yep.
we can see what we are talking about? Ryan better join again.
Right. Because it doesn't know the difference between my screen and me.
Classic LLM error.
Yep.
Okay, so again, in case you haven't seen this before, what you're seeing here is on the left side is a chat interface, not unlike something you've not unlike anything you've not unlike the things you've seen before. There are a few slight differences that might not be immediately obvious. First of all, you see the system message, which exists in ChatGPT, but you don't get to see it, and you can edit it. But secondly, on the other side, you see the source code of the whole environment that we're in. Um, that eventually will be hidden again, but for now, it's being used because whenever you want to improve something, you can write what you can do what Ryan is doing there to just type slash source slash and send that over to the LLM and ask for what you want. And what it'll send is what is on the right. And then it'll give you back some code that you can then copy over to the right, and have a new version of the code that you can then um, launch and run and see if you like, and then commit it. So let's do the process. So Ryan, so let's just walk through step by step. So
Yeah.
you to make sure we have the right answer. Combine
Right.
multiple functions, similar functionality in a single.
So okay.
Um,
Let me share this instead. So um, I started by just saying I gave it the source and I said the code is getting quite large. Suggest any refactorings that will reduce the code size while maintaining exactly the same functionality. Do not give me the code for the refactorings. Just list what you would do. Do not suggest to break the code into multiple files. Just give me ways to make the single file I have smaller. Um, and we've done varieties of this asking for refactorings in the past. And basically, this is
yeah.
just sort of fleshed out to tell it to not do the things that we don't want it to do that it commonly does. So it gave me some good stuff, right? Combine event listeners into an event delegation pattern. Minify, use shorter variables, function names, ternary operators, arrow functions, template literals, um, combined functions, use utility classes instead of custom CSS classes, and then object destructuring. These all seem like good ways to go through the code.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so over here, what I've done is just said, I want to make the following refactor, and then I just copy pasted the line item, and it comes back at me with this, which is to change the toggle panel function. And this is actually the second change it's made because we used to have a different function for each of the config panels. So it combined them into one, and then it gave the ternary operator, and now it's simplifying it even more to just say toggle the class list of hidden. So each step this has gotten us down from, probably 20 lines of code to now 3. So
Mm-hmm.
it's pretty good. Not bad for a Monday. So we do our typical move where we spawn based
Can
on
you
the
share the new
code.
tab?
Yes. So we've spawned based on the new tool. The toggle is still working nicely. So, and then we just rerun that algorithm again to see what else it comes back at us with.
Here's a feature that would be nice to build.
Yeah.
Right, because what are you doing? You're copying a variable, right, which is the code, which varies, right?
Yeah.
And honestly, I'm at this point, I'm wondering if it's even worth replacing it for the user to see, or whether we should keep some sort of a symbol.
Right.
The reason I say that is because if you have made the change and you press regenerate, you kind of want it to regenerate on the basis of the new code, right? So you don't have to
Yeah.
reset all the time.
Right. I can see the value in that. The trade-off, right, is that we have the ability to edit history. So we remove that. Now that's probably not a big deal for the source, but there is something nice about knowing for a fact that what you see is what was sent. Right?
Yeah,
Because,
the slightly better, well, a slightly different idea is to have an explicit reload, or even a regenerate, honestly, for the user's response that will at least re-resolve the variables, for example.
sorry, say that one more time.
If we had a regenerate on the user's response,
Yeah.
that would just re-resolve any variable, such as source. I mean, there's only one variable
Sure.
here.
Yeah.
That would allow you to at least kind of like just regenerate, like just run a few of these in one fell swoop. Does it really matter? Not that much, but I'm just sort of noticing that this is a variable, and as with any variable, you always have the by value or by reference question, and
Sure.
there's interesting implications here.
Yeah. So this is interesting. It seems to have hallucinated something. Let me double check that. Oh, no, it didn't. It correctly noticed that there was a dangling duplicate function declaration. So I will remove that.
Well, I imagined, because you said combine, right, and it said do this, which it would be a very strange suggestion to make when you say combine, and it's like just improve this one thing.
Right. All right. So here we are. Make sure toggling still works. Excellent.
Where are we with token counts?
Let's check.
So for everybody watching, the code basically that we have now has become quite large. Not like crazy large, but
It's about
in the
4,000
4,000 what?
tokens.
Huh.
Plus,
Really?
including the system message and my extra prompt, but that's not that much, right? It's a paragraph up here. It's a sentence down here, but the sum total
I don't get
of
it.
all of that. Well, I to get that number, I just looked at the API request, right? And the API request has the system message as well as this little bit beneath the source. So
Got it.
the sum total was 4,200. So
Got it. What happens if you take the source code as it is and you send it to
tokenizer?
Yeah. I mean, you probably need to go to the what's it called?
The tick tokenizer?
No, the codex bit.
Oh, sure. Codex
Yeah,
says
that is
it's
wrong.
5,400.
Even that is wrong, basically, right?
Yeah.
Got it. What if you I've got a format button if you've seen it, but I
Yes.
don't think it works, sadly.
It tends to increase a lot of white space. Oh no,
Sure.
it didn't. Not this time. It seems to work. It's tricky though because like we've got word wrap, right? So a lot of stuff wraps around. But like this is weird, right? You think it's
You
just
know what
some
we
highlighting?
well that's what makes me it is very strange for me because if you actually take this and put it on Prettier itself, it doesn't do that. So
Huh.
I don't know what's going on.
We could ask. Um, save it. Okay.
That's nice.
Yeah, this is a good one. Okay. Update the on-change attributes for the following elements. API key. On-change. Storage. Remove the following lines from the window.onload function. API key. Value. Replace them with. Oh, very nice. And bring that up. And our API key is still there. Our repo value stuff is still there. Seems to have worked. Repo chat 2. Just going to do that and refresh. No.
What happened? Sorry, what's going on?
Well, I'm testing that because it just changed the method of storage and retrieval for the API key, access token, and repo name, right?
Uh-huh.
So I just added some characters here at the bottom to my repo name because it's supposed to on change, save to local storage.
I think change you have to take your don't you have to take your cursor out of the text field?
Perhaps. Oh, well, that's what happened. Is I just missed something. I typoed in my copy paste.
How did you type when you copy paste?
Well, I typoed into where I copy pasted it.
Right,
My
but
select.
it still seems weird. There's like double. Oh yeah, okay.
Repo token. I think what happens is I overwrote this on change equals, and then when I pressed the format button, it did something wonky because it wasn't parsed correctly.
Right.
My guess. Let's spawn from that. Chat 2. Still not.
Did you spawn it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sorry. Here I am over here.
Mm-hmm.
Save to local storage. So save to. So yeah, that's something I didn't notice. It got the case wrong in its own instructions. Because it's supposed to be camel case. It did all
Right. Yeah, that's something maybe a linter would pick up, I guess.
Yeah.
Are you sure the element ID is the like you should have repo in quotes rather than just the variable?
Element ID is definitely a string.
Okay.
That function is not firing when I change. Oh yeah, it is. You're right. You have to navigate away. So it just told me it was saving the repo. And then I go here, and repo is saved, and then I refresh the page, and it picks it up. Okay. Cool. So now we're in good state. We'll go ahead and commit that.
Okay. Can you share that tab?
Yep. Actually, I'm gonna just navigate.
Okay, so now you apply the refactoring that optimized the functioning of saving to local storage. By the way, I searched a little bit and there's this library. There's a bunch of them, but this one is called Basil.
Mm-hmm.
That look pretty cool. It's just like basil.set and basil.get, and that's all you do.
Oh, for local storage?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I've been a fan of one called Local Forage.
Yeah.
It tends to be my go-to.
Right. I gotta say, I preferred. I gravitated towards Basil because it's a single token.
Mm-hmm. premature optimization.
You say that.
I do say that. It doesn't mean anything, but I say it.
I think it's pretty mature optimization.
Yeah. All right, so let's try this refactor step again, see if it finds anything else. So it occurs to me that though that like, this need not
Source.
right. It's like what I'd like. So this is a pretty universal thing for refactoring, right? Combine multiple functions with similar functionality into a single more generic function. That, and same with all the other ones, right? And so like I almost want an engine that's just like, press go and it just spins through, maybe 5 cycles of each refactor and gives you 5 suggestions.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, it seems you haven't actually deleted the save GitHub config
Yep.
instead. Save API key.
Yep, sure does. What was the other one? Oh no, that's the one I actually already have. Okay, cool.
Tokens now?
Yeah. Let me dispatch another request after that delete. All right, here we go. Here's something. All right. Replace the following functions: spawn, copy, commit, and refresh with a single function called handle content action. This is good. I like this. Maybe I like this. I don't know. I probably don't.
I don't think that it's sharing anything though. Oh, no, it is. Sharing a couple of lines.
Yeah. I mean, it is cleaner, I guess. Do we want to give it a shot? Oh, that's right. I was going to look at tokens. So we're now at 41, 116. We were at 42. So we've shaved off about 100 so far.
Yeah. Yep.
So the interesting thing too is that, like, this might not share a lot of code, but even the function declaration is, maybe 5, 10 tokens on either side.
Yeah, but then you got the case and stuff, though. I guess that's not something that. Anyway, I mean, it's fine.
Yeah.
You want one less line to copy.
Yep.
The top line you call, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I know why. I know why it misled you, because it, and like the if you looked at the ending of the line, it looked like a line of code, but it wasn't.
Yeah. Okay, so spawn content.
No. Wait, it has the whole button set for you already written out.
Oh yeah, nice. Okay. Okay. So that's that, and now I need to delete the old functions.
Spawn content and copy content. Then commit content. Okay, I think it did give away some functionality, right? Like there was an error message in copy content that I don't think has been.
Oh, actually, it said. It said to
Yeah.
keep
I
the.
saw.
Actually, what I'm just going to do is call the commit function here. Because that's actually big enough that. Yeah. All right. So respawn. I'm just going to test copy. Copy seems to work. Refresh, format and refresh work. Copy works, spawn works, and then error committing the content. Oh, right. This is because I changed the repo while we were testing that. Cool. Okay, let's see what that got us. And I'm going to try a different
refactoring bit.
Yeah. Ternary operators.
Tell me when we can afford to add highlighting left and right.
Oh, yeah.
The thing is, if we can squash this under 4K tokens, the whole request, that is, we can probably ask it to rewrite with jQuery or something and see what happens.
Right. Place the following block of code with the following refactor block of codes. Oh, excellent. Love it. Starts at model value, goes to penalty value. Go ahead and spawn that. Make sure that all my variables are still set, and they are. Give that one more go.
Do you think it's going to tell you that you've done it sufficiently?
I don't know. We'll find out.
I'm wondering now, what can we do to make, to automate this procedure? Basically.
Right.
Right. So basically, if we could do this,
Ooh.
it's being tasty, but what is it doing?
It's smushing. It's using an OR instead of a full ternary operator because it realized that the result of the ternary operator was always the thing you were turning on. Can I use turning as a verb? I just did. I don't care.
Turn with an E?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, sir. I'm going to have to arrest you. What is that message that it gets?
It's when I copy, I'm copying out part of the HTML of the regenerate button.
Oh, I see.
Okay.
As one does. Yeah.
Okay, everything's good.
Okay. How are we with tokens?
Let's find out. I didn't have the debug window open that time. That's what we need. We need token counts in messages as the next feature. Or one of the next features. Okay. I wish OpenAI would just like give you a token checker endpoint, right? That's like, or like basically a dry run, right? Don't actually execute this request, but tell me what it would cost if I did.
Yeah.
Because then you could actually have a source of truth that you could always rely on and not just think that they're going to change something from under you. 4130.
Wait, we went up?
It appears so. That might be formatting a white space though.
Wait, can you see if we're sending the white space over?
Yes. Damn, no. Yeah, we've got tons of white space in our request.
Okay, can you do me a small favor? Just load up Prettier and their recent whatever thing, um, and just put the HTML parser,
Yep.
um, try online whatever HTML parser. Just throw our code in there, take that and copy it into the source code editor here. I don't understand why it's doing what it's doing. Actually, I just no wait. It just landed on me. I just realized why. I okay. I think this is the time when we install Prism. Can you just say use Prism.js to highlight code elements?
Sure.
Yeah, I've got a bunch of plugins I want to add too, but let's start with this and we'll take it from there.
Do you want? What the hell? Huh. Really quickly, I just want to draw attention
Yeah,
to
I'm looking.
this.
I'm looking at it. I'm looking at it.
So this is identical code, right?
Yeah, I think this
But
means I'm out.
well, it's trying to basically undo auto form like Prettier, right? Because Prettier, and then
Sorry,
so it's like
I think we
okay,
lost the whole connect. Just start over. I think we had a
yeah,
minor snafu.
okay. So I asked it to use ternary operators, right, instead of if else. This is already using ternary operators, but it's on multiple lines, so it's got
Yeah,
extra white space. But the thing is that this is created by Prettier, right? Prettier is what put this on extra lines in the first place.
got it.
So we've got an argument between our LLM and Prettier, effectively.
Yeah,
Um,
whatever. Who cares? No, I mean to me, this says I don't have anything better to do.
yeah.
So shall we try
So
some other move?
yeah. Okay. So you
No, no,
want
no,
to
no, no.
add
Wait, wait, wait. Shall we? Yeah, let's try to use say
Prism?
like use Prism.js for yeah. Let me just check the page and see. I mean, you do that way, but I'm just gonna check if there's anything that
Use
is
it
worth.
for highlighting.
Yeah, for highlighting of code elements, I think that should be sufficient to do what we need. Uh,
All right. Excuse me.
yeah, we're about to say bye bye to these stupid broken up lines.
Hey, there's something.
Can I see it?
Yes. Oh, sorry.
Don't worry.
So it's highlighted now, and but not formatted at all.
What if you press format?
Hey, kinda.
Still a mess.
The HTML is still a mess, but the um, this.
There's some weird disagreement between the one and the other, clearly.
Yeah.
Um, can you go and see what parameters format uses? Because it seems like it's using tab width 0, which would definitely do a number on a number of things.
Prism.
None of sorry, when you press the format function, it should be calling prettier.
Yeah, it is right here.
And what parameters does it give to prettier?
None.
What do you mean none?
Well, it's just telling it to use the HTML parser and prettier plugins. So
It doesn't say tab width 2.
let me see where prettier plugins is defined. Prettier plugins is not explicit. Yeah, tab with 2 here.
Wait, is that for all uses of the plugin?
No, this is for setting system message element content.
Yeah. Okay.
It's applying. It's prettifying.
The code was sent out.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is a mess.
Yeah.
That explains some things. So what do we do? Well, for one, we need tab width 2 when we are um, doing the source code editor. So I don't
Yeah.
know if there's a quick fix here. For another, we need tab width 0 when we're sending it over, and that should reduce the number of tokens in theory. Though I guess we can try it and find out. I guess they're disagreeing on what a new line is, honestly. Um,
Yeah. System message element. Ah, it's weird. So it's basically putting everything. It's removing all the new lines in the actual like JavaScript code after the first comment.
yeah.
So that's bad. Um, yeah, it's like stripping out all new lines for some reason.
Well, is it stripping them out? Is this like a Windows versus Linux new line issue where it's like \r \n
Yeah,
and um,
I'm gonna ask it actually. I'm gonna type that very question in here. I'm just gonna say That change makes my formatting all lines. What gives? Okay. The issue is caused by Prism.js treating the content as inline code. To fix this, wrap the content of the editor div in a something and blank element, which just got inserted with a pre and a code element, and change the editor div to okay. How's the best way to get this out? So I mean, there's stuff that's not being displayed here because it got interpreted as HTML. So I'm just trying to figure out how to look at the raw response so I can just read it and copy it out as necessary.
I'm seeing I'm seeing an issue in the Prism repo where they talk about this. I think maybe are we using inner text to pick up the code?
I believe so, yeah. Or inner content or text content.
Right.
We're using inner text to set
text content or inner text?
In what place?
So when we give the code to Prism, to Prettier, or when we give it back to Prism, do we use text content or inner text?
Inner text.
Okay, I think we need text content.
Yeah.
Is that what you concluded as well?
Well, it's telling me that it's when we hand it over, it's treating it as an inline code. So we need to wrap it.
Yeah. Well, we don't need to wrap it. I think because we give it the inner text, it's believing it that we're giving it HTML, which kind of works when you have HTML, but not with the rest. And if you give it on the text content, then it'll not be rendered as a. You see what I mean? Like as a. Yeah. So I think that text content is the.
Is the culprit.
I think so.
So in this function, we should be doing text content. Okay. Oh, did not like that.
Was that even worse?
It doesn't even load the page.
Oh, white space pre should be in the pre. Prism's HTML output is intended for pre elements which use white space pre by default. Set this property for the element you're using or for displaying code, and everything should work fine.
I think that's what GPT was telling me to do.
Okay.
Is wrap it in a pre. But I've got somewhat bigger problems right now.
Undo what I was suggesting then, and just do this. Yeah, but this is it's not just the well, okay, so it's not about wrapping it in a pre, even if we don't wrap it in a pre, so long as you put white dash space colon pre as a style, it should work. It's just that pre has that by default because it's a pre.
Gotcha. So in the editor component.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't even know what the hell is going on there, but whatever. We're just gonna roll with this.
Okay. I'm actually just gonna go back a step.
Yep.
Get us back to no good status because all the formatting stuff changed a bit. So please use Prism.js to highlight code elements, making sure that we have the proper. What was that setting? White space pre.
No, it's white dash space colon pre.
Wait. Elements to make sure multi-line are handled properly. Sound good?
Beautiful.
And of course, I didn't have the network tools open.
It's all right. These days, things work better, he said.
Yeah.
Before they
crash and burn.
And then everything collapsed at once. Token counters will be nice. I'm just gonna check our to-do list here to see where we are. So we've done a bunch of refactoring. Shall we set ourselves the objective of being able to run these refactorings like either unsupervised or semi-supervised? Maybe that should be the thing that we're aiming at.
Yeah.
Because that will buy us. I mean, it's effective, and it'll buy us a bunch of headroom. And it's not like just that it's saving tokens; like it actually is making sane architectural decisions most of the time. So it's just like and the thing with cleaning up the architecture is that it's probably then better able to actually
Make sense of the code when we send it.
Make sense of the code, yeah. So that feels like the sort of thing we should be able to do, like just on the back burner.
Yeah, I think another piece is that we could have the system prompt encode those rules for new code too. Right, like favor extending a function to handle more cases rather than writing a new function, stuff like that. Okay, so here we go again. The following CSS rules and style section.
What? It says if it's a pre, then put white space pre. We don't. Of course. What are you talking about? That's already there. That's not needed.
Yeah, this should actually be div because we've added the language class to the editor. So yeah, we want this to be a div rule. Update the format content.
Wait, it's telling you to add a line to the function it just gave you?
No, it's telling me to add the line. I mean, I do need to add that, but there's one other place where the editor is set at the very beginning. So it got confused, but I know where it got confused. So. Where's window download? So here we are with those changes. I haven't done anything yet. Let's press format and hope it doesn't choke. Oh god. Oh god. What did it do?
Why is format... Wait, what is format doing again?
Format is calling this function.
But why was it blank to begin with? Shouldn't it be loading up like that to begin with?
What do you mean?
I don't get it. Something's going really wrong. What I'm saying is, when you load it up, Prism should be on the right, highlighted already. You shouldn't have to do something to trigger Prism. The
Right.
format thing is to get prettier to re-indent your code, but that's not to do with Prism.
Right. Correct. So let's find out what's going on. Okay. So
In fact, like, prettier and Prism should not be interacting at all, really. Like, Prism should be there highlighting, taking control of some divs and making them look pretty, but not really caring about, like, not really interfering with what Prettier does. I don't know. Sounds weird.
Well, does Prettier actually interact with the DOM to like create the indentation?
No, Prettier should like take a div, take out the code, and put it back in. Fine. But Prism should be highlighting whatever's in there. So the two should not be directly talking to each other, in theory.
Yeah.
So I guess I don't understand why we had to touch the format function. That feels like something went wrong there.
I think it's just because that's the touch point where the editor is presuming to change. But yeah, you're right. I'm inspecting the
Yeah.
XML to see if I can notice anything that's going wonky.
Okay, here it says Prism forces you to use the correct element for marking up code. Is it possible that the problem we have is that we don't use the code element and things are going south?
Yes, entirely possible.
Should we just kind of do that?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it sounds like we're pushing against something. And yeah.
Where the hell? Oh, that's right. Okay, so this is what we get when. So now, oh, sorry. Here you go. So now, Prism runs immediately, but does not give us anything good. Um, I'm looking at the interior of this. Huh. Prism just like completely nuked the actual HTML content of the source when we added it to. Right, because we get the.
Sorry, I got distracted a little. Tell me, what's catch me
Well,
up a little.
okay, so here's our current status, right? We run Prism immediately, but notice that there's no HTML in here, and I've validated this by looking at DevTools. It's not like it's even hidden.
Okay,
Um,
so is it being? Is it maybe the content text inner text bit was meaningful in the end?
well, no, actually, sorry, I'm looking again. I see these span elements, so it is there's. Let's see if I can find the first element of it.
I see what you mean. Actually, yeah, all the HTML elements just disappear, which makes me think, yeah, this whole text content is inner text stuff is uh, maybe interfering. Are you using a code element? You said.
I am now. We've got the editor, and inside the editor is a pre, and inside the pre is a code. And
Okay.
inside that is the raw stuff. But even so, like like the leading open and close HTML tag is busted,
Not there.
and it's not even
Um,
like it's not
yeah,
even like hidden, but actually there. It actually got clobbered.
yeah. So we have to figure out who clobbered it. It is plausible that yeah. Let's should we try to figure out how to not the inner text bit thing.
Yeah,
Does that actually? Well, you know what? We should change the inner text content and then respond and see if that changes anything before.
sure. Just
Actually,
go back. Okay, so here, this is pre Prism stuff, right? So we're at working but janky Prettify. Let me do inner text. Um,
okay, inner text was non-standard. Text content was standardized earlier. Inner text returns visible text contained in a node, while text content returns the full text. For example, on the following HTML, inner text will return just the text, while text content will return hello. Okay, whatever. For a more complete set of this, the differences. As a result, inner text is much more performance heavy. It requires layout information to return the result. Inner text is defined only for HTML element objects, while text content is defined for all node objects. Um, I think what I'm reading here is that text content should be used unless
Unless you are a masochist, yes.
unless you kind of know what you're doing.
Yeah. Don't care about buttons right now. Just with the editor.
Okay, actually, never mind. I've got a better description of the problem.
Okay.
It says when you're trying to alter the text, text content is usually the property you're looking for. When you're trying to grab text from some element, inner text approximates the text the user would get if they highlighted the contents of the element with a cursor, then copy to the clipboard. And text content gives you everything, visible or hidden, including script and style elements.
Hmm.
I think in our case, text content is the right thing because we don't have hidden script
Yeah.
element. In fact, we want to see them. But yeah.
Okay. So I've gone through. I press spawn.
Wait, you've changed everything to inner text?
I've changed everything to text content.
Okay, because the previous thing had inner text everywhere.
There were a few inner texts that were just like setting the labels on buttons, but I went.
Okay,
through
okay,
five-
okay.
five
Gotcha.
of them. But all the editor stuff is text content.
I'm with you. Got it.
Okay, so I'm just doing a 2-layer spawn to make sure that that works. So I'm gonna. Hey, did that actually do what I wanted? No.
Yeah, it does. So I think I figured out why you're getting what you're getting. You know where the after the script, the text, the first line of code seems super indented.
Yeah.
I think that's because the script itself is super indented. It's just rolling back through the. Like I think there's like the script itself is wrapped. That's why you see it so far back. Script should be where you expect it, given where messages are, or something. Never mind.
Not. Yeah. Sorry.
Don't worry. Now put. I mean, I think I see what you mean, though. It has become more visibly predictable, even though it's not necessarily. Can you?
So this is interesting.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
It's not. It's not like that's a real place where it's putting it. Right.
Is it doing anything at all? Like, can you just like change, just go somewhere, like go to the second line and just change the formatting and see if it fixes it? Like
Yeah.
the second line of the document, like from the top.
Oh, sure.
The first message, yeah, the head. So head, if you tab out head, is it gonna tab it back in?
Yeah, I think it's actually just the prefix isn't touching the interior of the script tag at all, and so this represents its nesting from where it got it in the inline HTML.
So we basically need to nest a Java. Well, Prettier can do that. So wait a minute. Okay, that's an important point you're making here. Let's try to figure this out because this is important. Did I just say it's important twice? That's how important it is.
It must be really important.
That important, yes. So basically, if you okay, so there's -- embedded language formatting auto here, which I think is what we want because the other one is off.
Okay. In Prettier.
Yeah. So you basically want where the options for prettier are to put embedded dash language dash formatting auto.
Embedded. Do you know how that? Can you look up how that translates? I'm gonna just assume that it goes to camel case.
Yeah, it should, because the tab width is like dash dash tab dash width.
Got it. Embedded
Um,
language formatting auto,
yeah.
comma. Embedded language.
No. With dashes. With dashes. Not with tab. No, not with not camel case.
No, but
Snake
when
case.
you're calling, didn't we just say that tab width went to camel case?
No.
It
Where's
does.
tab width?
Here.
Oh, what camel case? Okay, I'm buying that. Fine. Keep going.
Okay. So spawn another one, and then we'll go down here and hope that something happens.
Not really. Okay, let's find out how it does it.
Yeah. You keep investigating. I'm gonna ask GPT.
Oh, but that does it inside strings. It says. Sorry, so that might not be it. Sorry, I might have completely misled you. That's not.
Now it's telling me to turn embedded language formatting off.
It's just take it off. Just remove that line. It's not.
Is the default off?
I don't know. It just doesn't do what we think it does.
Try this as an experiment real quick.
Default is auto. You're right.
Yeah, well, turning it off doesn't do what we want either.
Can you do me a favor and just take the code as it is, go to Prettier's online editor, and dump
And
it in
just copy
there?
paste it.
We'll see if it formats it, and if it formats it, there must be a way to format it, right? So then all we have to do is figure out what it's doing. Can you share the page as well?
Yes. Yes, it did what we want.
Wait, but what was that? Do you see that comment that is badly formatted? Go. Yep. There.
This guy
Yeah.
the message. That's because it's a template string, so it's
Got it. Got it.
Yeah.
Well, do I got it? I guess
If you don't, I
you
can explain it. It's just white spaces, including wrapping around new lines, is held as sacrosanct when dealing with template strings.
right.
That's a feature, not a bug. So
Right.
Prettier will never touch that on your behalf.
Right.
Um, so I turn it to off and it doesn't do it. I turn it to auto. So it is embedded language formatting is what get well. Double check. So here's what it looks like
Yep.
without embedded language format. So did I typo? Or is there maybe do we not have the plugins? Where are the plugins defined?
You could just import them, I think.
Oh yeah, we haven't given it a JavaScript parser. So
How would you give it a JavaScript parser?
same way you give it an HTML parser. Um,
Oh, wait. Go again to the. Let me see the page again. The Prettier thing. Okay, go to the left column. Scroll up. Okay, parser HTML. I don't know what you mean. The same way we give it. Prettier is a JavaScript parser. I don't think that's a plugin.
okay.
But what I'm seeing down there is this CSS. You see HTML white space sensitivity CSS.
Yeah.
Can you see if you play with that what it does?
Changing it to strict does nothing. Changing it to ignore does nothing.
Okay. So what's our theory? We see this. Maybe we.
Well, this embedded language formatting seems to be it, right? Because if I turn that off,
We see something very similar.
Here's,
Yeah.
yeah. So
Okay, so let's find how to declare that embedded language formatting thing, Bob.
yeah.
It's how you did it. Yeah, it's how you did it. Maybe you didn't. You typoed it. I don't know, but it is embedded double D, camel case, language formatting, colon, string, for off or auto.
Yeah, it should be auto.
It's first available in 2.10, by the way. What version of Prettier have we brought in?
Oh, that's a good point. 288.
Okay. That is the right one.
Yeah. The embedded.
No. Just ask how we done. Are we doing? Basically, I would even just go so far as to say, like, we're noticing that embedded languages are not, being formatted or whatever. But even just this should give you something. But if you don't steer it towards telling you about plugins,
Yeah.
mostly because I don't think it's about plugins.
Formatted. Any ideas?
Yeah. So when we're done with this, we'll have code probably formatted and highlighted, which is fine. But we should figure out what we're going to do with the tokens, right? Because I was hoping that it would, work as simply as having, a token count per message. But with the system message thing being what it is, um, well, yeah. So the default would be that we would only get a token count after our first message, which would implicitly include the system message. Now, we could do a measurement for the original system message by sending a blank message of our own, right, and getting the response back, and then storing that so that it can be subtracted.
Yeah.
Um,
Then what happens when we change the system message?
we'd have to take another measurement.
Yeah.
Unless a system message being plain text, its token count is basically the same. Using both. I mean, the other thing to do. So, okay. Do you remember this weirdly named tokenizer we found that was doing something like CLK underscore 100K underscore blah?
No, I do not remember
Anyway, one of the tokenizers we found was importing something that looked like a very strange name. But on a post I read about tokenization, it said that that is the model that OpenAI is using for uh, GPT 3.5 and 4.
that. Okay.
So we should give it a shot as well to see if that works. Basically,
Got it. Ah. HTML white space sensitivity ignore. Can we just try that? What the hell? Try it again. Nope. Okay. Do you recall what should we search for to find this holy grail of tokenizers?
there we are. Okay, so GPT dash tokenizer and npm.
Okay.
This package is a port of OpenAI's tick token with some additional features sprinkled on top. OpenAI's GPT model, blah blah blah, and then in there you get the CL100K underscore base.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and oh, sorry. So actually, you know what? If you can load up a tab
Mm-hmm.
and go to gpt-tokenizer.dev, and that's got a playground where we can test it out.
All right.
If you can bring it up, that will be beautiful. Excellent. Now paste some code that we sort of know its token weight.
Sure.
Let's see if it gets better.
Yeah, much closer. 4,000.
Okay. Are you telling me that OpenAI's tokenizer is completely fucked?
Yes.
That is what you're telling me.
2.4 cents for
Anyway, so we now have something that is much better because we can just use that and put it everywhere, right? We can put it on the input, we can put it on per message, we can put it on the source code
Mm-hmm.
editor. Just sprinkle, make it rain.
And we can learn how the fuck it works, right?
Yep.
So we've got all these new line tokens.
Right. Actually, then if we remove all the tabs, for instance, right, what do we save ourselves? Like now we can find out.
Right. This is actually really interesting too. It combines a new line with uh, the closing bracket of an HTML tag.
Well, it's got this weird HTML new line thing. What the fuck is that?
That's a GPT token. This is how like GPT has
So
its own
deleting
new
all
line
white
token.
space is still viable then. Sorry, can you try one thing for me? Can you
Yeah.
put this code in Prettier? Go tab width 0, put it back in here, see what the delta is.
Sure. Here, I'm actually, just so that we're not dealing with our wonky script, I'm just going to remove our script tag so that we get a little bit of a pure experiment. So just the HTML is 1,514 tokens. Now I go over to Prettier.
You see, I find that surprising. That makes me think we should try Pug.
Okay. Now with tab width 0, we are at 1418, and so that saved us about 100. It saved us 98 tokens out of 98 divided by 115 is
Well, yeah, but then if we actually,
6.5%.
yeah, and if we fully like wrap it up, we go a bit further. Right, probably another
Yeah.
6.5, and removing all new lines. So that's 12%. Do we want it? Do we not want it? I don't actually care that much. I want to know what we're saving, right? We know that there's like a 10% somewhere there if we want to pick it up. That's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, let's fix the formatting now because this thing is a piece of shit. But we have a good, okay, so victory of the day. Well, lots of victories, really, but we also have a good tokenizer.
Yeah. Okay, so this attempt is telling me to use Babel to inner format the script tags.
What does that even mean?
Yeah, it got confused.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's not. This will probably work.
It will work, but it's a complication and it's a lot of code as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. The question is, why isn't the original working?
Why isn't built-in embedded?
Yep. It responded.
Yeah. should handle the formatting of embedded languages like JavaScript. However, it seems that we might not be working especially with this option. To resolve this issue, you can try updating Prettier to the latest version. Oh, fun. Sure. Yeah, let's give it a try.
Why is it complaining about 288 versus latest?
Because it's vibing that might be the source of the problem.
Anyway, it's 8 tokens, so fuck it, kill it.
What's 8 tokens?
I'm guessing latest is a single token, whereas .8.8 is for twice 8.
All right. Moment of truth. Format. Oh, it did something. No, it sure didn't. It didn't do fuck all.
Yep. Okay. No, I mean that wasn't gonna be it. But can you share that tab, please? The
Yep. Here you go.
Can you go where it shifts over from? Well, yeah, that's the tell. What I'm confused about is why when what happens if you put the actual prettier and put it back here? Does it stay broken or is it better?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Because I genuinely don't understand how it got that way to begin with. Anyway, but I feel like we've gotten sucked into coding again. We should try to actively avoid that.
Yeah, it doesn't fuck it up when it's good. So at least maybe we can table this problem for now.
Maybe copy this and tokenize.
$4,100.
So it added tokens by properly formatting.
Yeah, new lines.
Yeah. Right.
Now, here's an idea. Here's a thought. Print width. So let's see what happens with this. Ah, excellent. What was our last value? Okay, I just saved 100 tokens with one setting in Prettier.
What is that?
Print width, the maximum width of a line.
Yep.
I set it to an absurdly high value because
Yep.
GPT isn't a human. It doesn't care about word wrapping.
Yep.
So that's an easy win.
You know what? Put tab width 1 as well. That also doesn't cost us anything in terms of metadata. Like normally that shouldn't cost us anything in terms of tokens, but it will.
Yep. Well, this is an interesting question, is that it might not, right? Because if this tokenizer treats every length of white space as an individual token that it's pre-encoded, this might not change anything. Saved us 4 tokens across the entire code base.
Yeah. Okay. Nevertheless, it's probably better, especially if we're going to be scrolling. Okay. You know what the next thing to do is, right?
Well, first, let's make sure that we're actually getting those benefits. what was the setting? It was tap, no, print width. And we actually want to tab with 0 for the other one. Another quick spawn. Format. I don't squeeze things except for the HTML. I won't squeeze. I'll just, for now, run prettier manually. And commit. Okay. Now, I've got like a million tabs open, so I'm just doing some quick tab hygiene.
Yep. I got something else for you. That's going to be another whole rabbit hole, but probably worth it. Should we just put the highlighter in and then? Basically, I found an online ESLint playground.
And here we are.
Okay.
You there?
Yep. Can you hear me?
What is next?
Can you hear me?
I cannot hear you for some reason. What the hell does that always happen? Sorry, my volume went down. Can you say something?
It's me. Can you hear me?
Yep, gotcha. Sorry.
No, it was me. So I saw an online ESLint playground.
Mm-hmm.
And as you know, ESLint has a ton of options and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But now that we have a tokenizer, what stops us from like fusing the two and just having something run through all the options?
Nothing. I don't think. Well,
Anyway,
our existing problem, which is that we can't minify our inline script text. Excuse me. So we'd have to deal with that.
No. What you do with ESLint is you like you just add rules, right? So the ESLint and Prettier are synergistic.
Yeah.
So ESLint is about code style itself, right? So if you say like use, so sorry, the reason I thought about all of this is because I'm ashamed to say it. I think we should. Can you do like a Control F on this page?
Yeah.
And just put the semicolon character.
157.
Okay. Not as many as I thought, but nevertheless, it is.
It's another 6%.
Yeah. Right. So I'm like, what you want is an ESLint rule that just drops semicolons that are not essential, for instance, right?
Yeah, which is most of them.
Yeah. And stuff like that. Like I'm just wondering, like, what ESLint rules exist that will be cost-free savings of tokens. But anyway, are we at 4,000 tokens right now? He said
roughly, yeah.
Wasn't it like exactly? Or am I
Oh wow, yeah,
imagining?
yeah, it was.
Yeah. Okay. Um, okay. So shall we try another go at adding Prism or?
Yes, I suppose.
Okay, or maybe talking token counting. What do you want? So we've got token counting. We've got um, we've got token counting. We've got highlighting, and we've got linting potentially, right? But let's remember where we're trying to go. So the good news here is that we are now under 4,000 tokens, which means we can take a shot at rewriting this to use modern features like we can give it a list basically of like don't use semicolons when not needed, use Java, use jQuery where possible, use arrow functions, like give it like the whole laundry list of
Yeah,
uh your optimizations plus mine plus jQuery plus whatever. We could try it all at once, like it's probably gonna fuck it up, but it's probably worth a shot.
let's
Otherwise,
try. I because the list itself is going to take some tokens from us, and we're so close to half of the context window that I don't want to overshoot. So let's try the one thing that we think will maybe get us like 200 or 300 more tokens of headroom in a single pass, and then
okay.
do all the follow up, right?
Okay, so do me a favor again. Can you search for document.getElement by ID? How many times does this occur?
51.
51. Are you kidding me?
Nope.
Okay, so um,
jQuery.
no, I mean, sure. Does that just make it $1?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Yeah, I mean that thing by itself is like how many tokens?
Yeah. So you will respond with followed by a request to change code. You will respond fully.
Okay, that said, document.getElement by ID is 2 tokens apparently.
Oh, I'm sure. That's another interesting thing, right? Is that these common things that are boilerplate, they might be long strings, but because they're so common, they've been tokenized efficiently.
Right.
Still, I'm imagining that you've got all these add event listeners, class name, inner HTML. We'll find out. since this is a long request, I'm gonna go refill my water. I'll be right back.
Yeah, this is one of those. Remember back in the day when you were asking for 4,000 tokens and it took 5 minutes?
Yeah.
That's where we are. Yeah, I'm so happy we got a good tokenizer, man. Like, yeah, I can't wait to plug this in. It's gonna be revolutionary. Mm.
Hey, there we go. Whoa.
What happened?
Look at my screen.
Sorry. Yeah. Very
So
nice.
So let's fix that bug in a second here, but I can still get the.
It forgot to respond to
Ah,
Mark. It forgot to respond
what?
to Markdown or what? It forgot to respond to Markdown or what?
Yeah. Actually, I think we lost that requirement.
I think we lost the tab. No.
Yeah, got it.
Well, wait. Put code response. It's gonna put the whole response. Just say respond to Markdown. It should be fine.
Brain fart. What was the? Oh yeah. On the bright side, it appeared to work using jQuery.
Did it?
Maybe.
What do you mean? It just had some HTML that looked vaguely reasonable?
Yeah. I didn't say it worked. I said it appeared to work.
I know.
And I was using appear very literally.
You're like this rationalist that got involved. Well, I don't know. It's not even. I don't even think I would use that name for him. He was like, there currently exist no plausible futures that blah blah blah. I'm like, you do realize by saying currently implausible, you're acting like you said something about the world, but really you just said something about yourself. Like, plausible to who? You know, and currently based on whose state of mind? Like, this is the Sam Harris trick of like, well, trick, whatever, of saying like it wasn't rational to believe. It's like, by whose accounting of the facts exactly?
Yeah.
Waiting for Godot. So basically, okay, so we were trying to shrink this all down a little bit to give us a little bit of room. You know what? I think it's not a bad habit if we like continue to keep the code under like in the 4K zone. So as
Yeah.
we add stuff, when we hit that limit, we start to, um, we've got a cache of things we can try, and we continue to use them. Um, yeah, but like, can you bring back the list of ideas it gave you?
No, but I can regenerate them.
Okay. Because I think using modern ES and arrow functions and whatnot, those things are like powerful in terms of saving. Um, yeah, space. So but yeah, the new tokenizer is a lot more um like reasonable, I guess, for lack of a better term. It is far smarter than the old one, from what I just from eyeballing it.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so you want to laugh?
Yes, I love to laugh.
So we've got this token called frequency penalty, right? This what is it? 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, yeah. It says how basically how likely you are to start repeating yourself.
Okay, so it appears 15 times, right?
In our code?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Frequency penalty is 5 tokens.
Delightful.
Presence penalty is 3 tokens. Um,
Oh, that's an idea.
what?
What? GPT gave me. Oh, it still didn't solve the problem.
What happened?
It gave me a response again, but it still got interpolated as JavaScript, even though it was inside a Markdown code block. Or it got interpreted as HTML. So something's fucked with our rendering.
Hmm.
But what I'm gonna do is hit that regenerate button over here. These suggestions aren't that great. They're not as good as last time.
We also have like some pretty gloriously useless comments in our code, by the way. Yeah, if you ever want to say 50 tokens, there's like 50 tokens of dumb comments.
Okay. Copy.
It is the 1%.
Right.
Anyway.
Oh, so
Daddy,
okay.
Hello.
did you make all the robots?
Not yet. Okay, go upstairs. I'll come for dinner, and then we can make the robots after dinner. Okay? Yeah, that's gonna be helpful. You know what? Actually, please.
Daddy, have a muesli. Daddy.
So what are we doing?
I put in the hat.
I fixed the max tokens response and getting it to rewrite some things.
Okay, got it.
And I've got network tools open so I can pull out the raw response.
Yeah, yeah. So there's like 50 tokens worth of stupid comments, as I mentioned. And also, yeah, like the name of some of our parameters is just needlessly silly.
Daddy, I have some fruit for you.
Okay. Did I not? Okay, that's fine. First include jQuery in the head.
So what did it do?
It gave me a diff again because I didn't change the system messages. So I'm just
Right.
try it. If I can find it.
Oh man, this is painful, huh?
Yeah.
I would just have it rewrite the whole thing for you.
Yeah.
Ooh, getting
Yeah, getting fancy.
is Lodash going to save anything?
Hopefully.
Tough questions, I know.
It was one of the suggestions when I regenerated the suggestions. It said use Lodash.
Yeah.
What's this pug stuff? I know we've talked about it before.
Load it up as a well. I'm just noticing that the HTML is 1,500 tokens, right? If you load up Pug, yeah, so it makes the HTML look like that. Right, so it removes all of the janky, like, pre, post, whatever. Another thing we could try to do. So do you want to load up while we're waiting? Do you want to load up? Beautiful.
Yeah, let's just do a quick little delay here.
What's happening?
Oh. So here's our pug code. Take that into the tokenizer. Gets us 240.
Yeah, 30. Okay. I mean, not
30.
really, and we're probably gonna have to use some code to turn it back into HTML at runtime and whatnot. So okay, less exciting. I mean, it's important, but maybe not that important. Back a few days ago, I opened up ChatGPT and I sort of steered it to making me a pure JavaScript render environment, right, where everything is an S expression, basically, if that makes sense.
Everything is a what expression?
S expression, like Lisp, basically, right? Like,
okay,
it's all a tree. It's all a big tree,
yeah.
right? Whether it's HTML. So basically, there's this syntax called, this library, I guess, called hyper helpers. So that's hyperscript. By hyperscript on its own, it's not that amazing. With the helpers library, it becomes really cool. Hyperscript helpers, there you go. Because what you can do is scroll down a bit.
What we can do is adopt a project that hasn't been contributed to in 6 years.
Yeah, because it just works. I mean, it's very simple what it does. If you see, right, it's just like instead of a tag, you get a function call.
Yeah,
that's it. Literally, like.
yeah.
So there's not much to do with it. Like, it's just what it is. And you can basically use it as, I don't know, maybe there's something more modern with it. But the point is, I was trying to figure out how we can make a pure JavaScript,
Pure
syntax.
JavaScript view library, basically.
Yeah. And that's I had that tagged from back in the day in my head. JSX, I guess, has come in and changed everything, but this is pretty cool because it's just native JavaScript. I don't understand why it hasn't taken off. Like, it's such a good by my count. Anyway, Anyway, never mind. I'm just sort of saying it because, like, even the problems we have with deltas become easier with this, but whatever. Just keep that in mind. Maybe we'll come back to it at some point.
Come on, GPT. Give me those 4,000 tokens.
I mean, basically, if you think about it, though, right? Like dropping semicolons is what was it? 50, 60? No, it was like 150 tokens or so. Maybe we're not sure. Then there's a comment for like another 50. That's 200. Then if you go to something like Pug, it's another couple of hundred. Like you are getting somewhere. I mean, with enough of these, you're probably going to get to 3,000. Oh yeah. So throw our code in there. See what it says.
Yeah.
Though
it's gonna choke. And
yeah,
let's
let's
make
just,
it not choke.
yeah.
No undefined. Okay, choose rule. I want to remove that rule.
It must be below. Just Control F.
There we go.
Oh, save to local storage is defined but never used. Oh, that's because you're doing it through the yeah.
Yeah, it's in the HTML. So unexpected lexical declaration case block. Line 288. I don't care about that.
What happened?
Just a linting rule, unexpected lexical declaration in case.
Yeah, but what is it? What is that rule? We don't know. It's fine.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, no, I know. It's over here. I'm reading that. It's basically just because it might leak up to the parent context.
I see. Okay. Yeah.
I'm just going to say I don't care about it right now.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we don't have errors, and now I can add a rule.
Can you go back to the other page?
Oh, yes.
Sorry.
What does that do? That's not what I want at all.
Right.
Here we go. Require or disallow semicolons instead of SI.
I think if you click, it gives you options.
Nope.
No, you just gotta type it out.
That's useless.
See if there's like a disallow option or something. See, like if you go back to the documentation of the semi.
Yeah.
Never there.
Never. That isn't.
Can you go back to the playground?
Oh yes.
It's already inserted. You have to find it. There.
Yeah, but how do I configure it?
Say never there.
Nope. This is not the place to put never. This is the severity. What, never?
Okay.
I use this playground.
You're not letting me play. Versioning and config? No. I don't know. I don't know how you do it.
Let's see if GPT's come back with something so far.
How's it looking?
It's not. It has still not given me anything back. It's still waiting forever.
How the hell do you use this playground if it's not got? I don't get it.
Yeah, that's one hell of a playground they got there.
Yep. Okay, I guess that it's not common that a rule can do something and its opposite. So, wait, when it says source type, can you see? Can you check? Does it have HTML? No.
No. Let's search for a better PS-Lint playground. Aiden Bleasel. Nope.
Yeah, basically what I'm suggesting is that we put this on a sort of auto whatever to like try all the options if we could brute force it, if we figure out how to brute force it, and auto fix, right? That has a fix option sometimes where it'll change it to the other style, and then count tokens before and after for each, and then we can have a report that says, these options save you this many tokens, and even if it's like 1 or 2 or 5%, whatever, they're automated. They're not even a GPT request, right? So we can just have them always be done on the page. But I still think we need some, we can keep going at this forever. And honestly, I don't even mind. It's fun, right?
Yeah.
I think this is the kind of fun that we should, engage in. However, I think the dude, is it like, is the request still outstanding?
I tried it again because it hadn't come back, and it's still not coming back.
Okay. So basically, I guess what I'm saying is like we should figure out some objective because we can keep shrinking this, but like I think look, proper highlighting is a must. Proper formatting is probably useful. proper like what do we should we okay so okay, I've got another thing that you can search for a playground on, which is a minifier, right? And specifically what I want is a minifier that just removes white space, not just the just all the white space, not just like tab it left, but like just eliminate white space.
Yeah. Sorry. So I just got a response, and I
Okay.
copy pasted it into the tokenizer, and I got all excited because, and that was the first indication that something was wrong, is that it looked too good to be true. Here, I'll show this.
How
Check
good
it
are we
out,
talking?
man. We got down to 1,400 tokens by adding jQuery, except
And
adding jQuery meant that you say, let's replace the script tag with document ready function, and then comment your existing JavaScript code here. There are times when I suggest that there's a ghost in the machine that just wants to screw with us. Let's regenerate. Come on, you can do it.
yeah, the thing is, like, we need to double emphasize that it can't respond with like that shit can't work.
Yeah.
I mean, it's almost like you want to write something like we write using all the functionality of advanced functionality of jQuery to reduce code size or something.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to cancel the regen and do it again?
Yeah.
And Lodash.
Oh, shit. So rewrite the JavaScript to use jQuery and Lodash to reduce code size, keeping functionality the same. Include all functional code in your response, omitting nothing. Hmm. Here we go.
What happened?
I figured out how to use the ESLint playground.
Got it.
Fix. All right. See, this is where I need my cat. right? I could just put a piece of cat
I don't
treat on
think
the mouse
your
pad.
I think your cat is less predictable than an LLM. I'll just put it like that.
Cat GPT.
Cat GPT. Maybe it's fewer characters, but not less tokens.
All right, here we go. So here's my JavaScript that I will take into the tokenizer. First, I'm going to compare it to the original. Okay, so originally, so just the JavaScript is 2514 without semicolons. That was wrong somehow.
What?
I think I just gone back, so it probably just didn't have some changes. So we didn't.
Okay.
The
So
change was
I'm
not within the margin of error of me having fucked with shit. So let's go back. Error.
what error?
I got a too many tokens error. Somehow.
I'm still not following. I'm completely lost.
My most recent request to ask it to use jQuery and Lodash was too many tokens. We still don't have enough headroom to do it.
So actually, so does removing the semicolons help?
Let's find out.
Well, I mean, just shove in the tokenizer, but also remove the comments. There's like, I normally would say keep comments, but like there are 50 tokens for no reason. Like the stuff that it just does is just completely brain dead. There's no point to them.
Yeah.
There, another one. Store. Go down, 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 down. There. Yeah. Can you tell me what's happening?
Yeah, I'm trying to get a relatively clean block of code to run this on, to run the ESLint thing on. Okay, delete. Okay, so I'm going to put that in the tokenizer as is. So it's 110 tokens is what I just got, and now I'm going to remove a bunch of semicolons and paste back into the tokenizer. So 110 turns into 110.
Okay. Well, we know that's useless now. Great. So I gotta run.
Okay.
But yeah. So that's our session for today. If you got any time today or tomorrow, the next things are we got to get the highlighting, and I mean the highlighting just has to get in there. It's just the pain in the neck. I mean, you know the main, like one of the big drivers I think for our roadmap should be like our quality of life while we're doing this. And counting tokens, highlighting and counting tokens are super useful to have.
Yep.
And we can take it from there. But basically, I think we should be building towards automating the diffing, right? Like that's your biggest pain in the neck, I think. So that's going to take a little bit, but I think these bits are pretty essential right now.
Sounds good.
Yeah, and I mean automating the diffing is one. I guess being able to run automated refactoring loops would be fantastic.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's probably a little bit farther because automating the diffing is like doing one magical run, whereas automating refactoring is almost like auto GPT, where it keeps going and going. So that's kind of next milestone, though I don't feel like it should be. Anyway, but we can fuck also with some token optimizations. Maybe I'll try some things, whatever. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, the fact that this one word frequency penalty, it really hates the word penalty. Basically, um,
Mhm.
it's like 3 tokens for the word penalty or whatever. But again, it's like, okay, how much do you want to optimize, right? Like, are we gonna get to like how far are we gonna push this optimization bit? Would it be meaningfully different for us if it was 3,500 tokens versus 4,000? I mean, maybe, right? Like, sorta, but
I mean, I think actually 3,500 tokens is probably that's our actual ceiling, right? Because that buys you 500 tokens of instruction and 500 tokens of it bloviating on the response, right? And those are sort of two buckets that you want. That 3,500 is probably the absolute cap for a complete request followed by a complete response of the entire code.
I think 4,000 is you can get closer to that, but the reason you got rejected is because you asked for 4,000 tokens in response, right? If you had gotten it to like 3,800, it probably would have worked. And that's another problem we need to fix, like getting that. Like, we should never look. Let's fix the token counting, because when we know what we're sending, we can prevent that from even ever coming back. It should either set that automatically to the reasonable maximum, or give you an error, and we can catch that. So again, setting tokens will help with that. Anyway, okay. Let's talk tomorrow. Maybe we can start a little bit earlier. Other than that, hugs and kisses. We'll make this work. I really just want to have something that we can just tell people to go and use and have fun and contribute. And I don't know what the objective use, like having automated deltas is probably a magical feature for people. Token counting by itself is great. What else? Yeah, being able to contribute properly with branches is great. Anyway, we can talk about it more. Let's think about it a little bit more.
For sure.
And always messing around with token counting is great. So,
yeah.
All right.
I might try and bang out that ESLinter thing, because as you say, that's not even GPT requests. So I might spend a little time fucking around with that and see if I can just make a little utility.
Well, the thing with ESLint is that you inject it and then you have a .ESLint file. Like, basically with ESLint, it's all about the settings you choose, right? And having a set of ESLint settings that are optimized for minimizing tokens is quite a cool thing to have. But again, I didn't know what that would be, because it's gotten pretty good at not wasting tokens on symbols. You can just see it here, right? It absorbs like things like close squiggly, close parenthesis, new line, and a space into one token, right? It's so.
Well, I mean, it would also just be like interesting to know, right? If we could just run, put the JavaScript equivalent of lorem ipsum, right? And run every option, and
I hear you. It's important. It's. I mean, and the thing is, it's a freebie, right? Once you get it rolling, it's a free context saver.
Yeah.
So it's powerful, and if you're motivated to do it. By the way, I'm seeing something else now. This EL pattern, right? Message EL. You see this?
Yeah.
So if it never did that, it would save us like a fuck ton of tokens.
Yep.
Right? If it just said message for messages, yeah, and again message elements for each message L. It's like no, just say messages for each message. Like that is 2 tokens saved probably 100 times or something, something stupid like that. Which means that, by the way, that yeah, there might be something in the iterator. So I'm just looking at this one function. It's clear that this EL thing is killing us.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, all right, dude. Talk later. Talk tomorrow. Bye.